Welcome back to Full On Football with our keepers show tonight. We've got Paul Reilly from Modbury Jets, we've got Pogliacomi from Campbelltown City, and we've got Kirk from Enfield City Falcons. Now, before we get into the State League, guys, I have to ask this, and that is your favourite player. Who is your favourite player? Not local, who's your favourite player?
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Okay. Les?
I'd have to say Gigi Buffon.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's amazing, most amazing keeper I've ever seen.
Yep. And Ian, yourself?
I'd have to be George Best.
George Best.
George Best, yeah.
Okay, well, I have two keepers that I absolutely adored watching, and that was, of course, Nagita. I thought he was just absolutely unbelievable for Colombia. He's just a brilliant keeper, absolutely. And Peter Schmeichel, my all-time favourite player, absolutely. He reinvented working in between the sticks, I think. So
I was a big part of Man United's success, wasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. So as I said, I'm a big fan of the keepers, and it's fantastic to have you on tonight. Now, let's have a look at the State League, Ian. There's some interesting results here. Now, of course, worked out very well for you because Enfield City had the bye this week, so that's all great because you're still able to play, so you don't have a rest.
Yes,
keep the momentum going.
Yes, it was good to have the bye as well and remain on top. So it was
definitely
it was good.
Okay, so let's have a look at the results for round 9 from the State League. And of course we had Seaford defeating Port Pirie, Seaford at home, 2-1. Nichols and Dickinson again, every week Dickinson is scoring, so he's doing really well for Seaford. And of course Hume for Port Pirie City. The Cove going down to Noarlunga 1-0, and that was a Southern Derby there, still scored the goal for Noarlunga. So the Cove again, looking down the barrel of a loss, and they'll have to pick themselves up again. So Grant Sweeney will have to do a bit of fast talking to his side to get them going again. Northern Demons went down to Playford City 2-0 with McMillan and Marin scoring for Playford. West Adelaide 4, NAB 1. Now that was 1-1 at half time, so I was surprised to see that West Adelaide come out with such a big win. Spatharos, Ferreira, Kezios and Paspaliaris scoring for West Adelaide, and Amaranto scoring the lone goal for NAB. And of course Gawler went down to Western District Toros, so it was the bottom two sides playing against each other. 3-0, Mastropaulo, Maya and Tak Marcus scoring for Toros. And as we did say that Enfield City did have the bye, and as Ian alluded to, if we have a look at the table after round 9 for the State League, Enfield City is still sitting on top, travelling absolutely beautifully at the moment. No losses, the only side that has not been defeated as yet, so we want to keep that intact, don't we?
Very much so.
And if we have a look at the goals against, you have the least amount of goals against you, so again, very well done, Ian.
Yes, I must be doing something right.
Yeah, you are, in fact you are. As I said, I have watched 3 of your games now, and you've had some very good saves and kept the side in it, so well done to you. West Adelaide creeping up right behind you there. They're on 18 points. They've played the one extra game. Northern Demons, because obviously they will have the bye. Northern Demons are on 16, Seaford 15, NAB 15 and Playford on 14. So again, really, really tight. Only 6 points, 2 games in it between you and the 6th side. So Noarlunga with a couple of wins there, slowly creeping up. They're on 11, and then basically it's the bottom 4 at the moment, with the Cove on 7, Port Pirie City on 6, Western District Toros on 5, and Gawler with the single point there. So we might have to get someone on from Gawler to speak to them about what's happening down at their club. Of course, fixtures for round 10, you're one fixture ahead of us, and you do play more games than any of the other leagues. So let's have a look at who you face up to. Of course, the fixtures for round 10 this week, you've got Port Pirie City are up against NAB travelling up to Savoy Park. Gawler at home to Playford City, good match there. Western District Toros are going to be taking on West Adelaide at Pennington Oval, so a big match there for Toros. The Cove are at home to the Northern Demons, so they'd want to be playing some good football there to nullify the Northern Demons. And your match at 5 p.m. at Rushworth Reserve is against Seaford. Now, Seaford has been going very nicely, so you're going to have to do some strong keeping there, Ian, because this Mr. Dickinson has been scoring every single match.
Yeah, I'll have to keep a close eye on that young man.
Will.
So, but no, we'll hopefully we can come away with 3 more points and keep the roll going.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we wish you all the best. Then, of course, Noarlunga United has the bye, so they've got a bit of a rest. I guess after their match with Cove, they'd be welcoming that rest. Before we continue on, also something that's very, very important with you guys is, of course, your relationship with your back line, because each one of you have a strong back line. Your side is still very young and still, I mean, it's great that you've been able to get David Crowell back into the side. Yep. Obviously, a huge insurgence in confidence there. Maddie Kelly's been playing really well, so your midfield's been really strong. But at times, sometimes your backline's been lacking a little bit, and you've had to be doing a lot of the work, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, the first sort of few weeks of the season, the backline, we didn't quite have it right at the back. It was, we were still working out some things with some injuries, but we got Adam Carter just come back and joined the club, so he's helped. He's slotted into centre back, and first game we managed to get a win, so hopefully we can build on that and keep going.
Fantastic. What about yourself, Les? You were talking to me this afternoon about your relationship with the back line. How do you like to have your influence on the game with them? Are you because you're not really you don't talk a lot. You're not a really loud keeper from what I've seen.
I think when I talk, I tend to sort of give short, sharp information, because I think if you just talk for the sake of talking, it sort of, defenders like to switch off and sort of ignore you. But I'm quite lucky. I've got good 2 centre backs, Michael Delosio and Michael Minicala. But I think it's so important to have 2 solid centre backs in any team. They're the backbone of your defence and your team, I think. And at Campbelltown, we're pretty lucky to have such 2 good players, and we've got a good understanding now. And we're sort of, all of us are quite sort of older and experienced, and we organise quite a bit. So I'm quite lucky at Campbelltown. And
it does come through when we see you play, because it is a very, very strong defence. Very, very difficult to get past you guys, and you as the last line defence. Very, very strong. Ian, yourself with your defence and your back line, well, how do you like to influence yourself? I'm
a bit opposite to Les. I like to talk to them.
Because you do. You're very loud, and you.
If you're talking to your defenders and you're keeping them switched on, and I say to them, like my captain Dave Bounds, he's a loud talker too, and he's in the defence with us. So, I think it gears them up a bit, keeps them on their toes. They're always thinking, is Kirk going to be shouting at me or whatever. So, no, I like to try and keep them on their toes and make sure that they're all switched on. That's basically all I do.
And David Bounds has been a great influence in the side, coming from Para Hills, a great defender. So I did forget to mention him before, but he is fantastic, and he has done well for your side too. So a bit of experience behind him as well.
Yeah, well, that's it. The whole defence, has played really well this year. It's not just like me. It's the whole of them. They make me look good as well. So, and when they make me look bad, I let them know.
You do. We saw that. We saw that tonight on the footage. Okay, let's have a look at before we do go and finish off the show. As I say every week, FFSA website is a very important place to have a look at, and I do ask you to look at the website there, and it is www.ffsa.com.au. It's got all the clubs, it's got everything that's happening, the new things that are coming up all the time, and I do ask you look at fixtures there, because they do change. I mean, when we record the show, when it goes to air, things do change, so we can't always have the right information because of late changes, so I do ask you to look at that. If you want to contact us, I do love hearing from people. I heard from someone today from England, catching the show on YouTube. Fantastic stuff. So we like you to contact us in the following way. You can email us on adamna@optusnet.com.au, or you can write to us at Full On Football, PO Box 319, Henley Beach 5022, or you can call me on 0421 507 948. regarding feedback of the show, what you'd like to see on the show, whether you enjoyed the show, and of course sponsorship. It's very, very important for us to have sponsorship to continue this show on. And there's only 7 weeks to go before we celebrate our 100th show, and hopefully that's going to be a big one, so really looking forward to that. And also, as I said, I alluded to, you can see us on YouTube, and that is, we've got a new site there, a new channel. It's www.youtube.com/user/Full On Football. But if you do search for Full On Football, you will find it there. And also on Facebook. So if you go on Facebook, you'll find us there as well. And